Hello, everyone, and welcome to my Ascension Messages. My name is Bobbie, and I will be your guide for today. Today, I'm going to channel through some messages, plus, I've got some messages on my phone that my team channel throughout the week. First of all, just like to bring up that in 3 weeks' time, I am a speaker on the global Cosmic Truth online global event. I'll see if I can remember to put the link down below for that as well. So yeah, and I'll do an advertisement as well. I've done an advertisement for Facebook and send out some emails. But at the moment, having a little issue with my Microsoft account. They're not letting me in, so we'll see how that unfolds. Which is kind of part of this message of you got this, right? And I can honestly say I can see where I've gone a little skew myself, and manifesting that one into my reality. E, yeah, it's kind of like the more you start to have everything coming for you, like towards you, that is really fantastic. You're like not used to that energy of everything working out. And everything's been working out with me so much. I mean, my family is supporting me so much. I've never had that in my whole entire life. My father, my mother, everything is healed, everything's healing, everything's going so wow. So much love around me, absolutely incredible, and I am so grateful. But then you kind of have a little freak out moment in your mind of, things shouldn't be this perfect, almost like you're not used to having everything going so well. And then I manifest being locked out of my account. So my email account. So yeah, I taken some words of advice of my team, and they've channeled through some messages, and I will read them out about this. Hey Sky, hey Annie, good to see you. Yeah, everything is always gonna work out for me, yeah, and, like, I've been doing that, and that's why everything has, and the amount of respect I have is just formidable. I've got absolutely no qualms with any of my relations anymore. Everybody's backing me. Like, it's so cool. Things that I wanted healed before, now that I've healed them within, are literally showing up outside of me, and it's just so beautiful. I can't even describe how incredible it is. But then, you know, we do have these moments of self-doubt in our heads, and I'm like, "Oh my god, everything's going so well," and then boom. Oh, you've got a frequency of things going not so well in this moment. So this is what happened. Anyway, I will fix it. I will get to the bottom of it, and it will be fixed. Hey Celtic, hey Dedra. But yeah, they actually gave me a password, said I'm all good to go, that I have identified myself as the person I am and that I'm not a fraud, and then they still block me out. Ah! So yeah, fun and games, what's going on there? We'll fix it though. Okay, let's get into some of these messages, and I want to channel some advice. So I'm just going to get my crystals behind my computer. So we have one of the first messages they said is, "You've already gone through the worst. Every step from now on improves your life. Take advantage of these new energies." Like, that is a profound message for everybody. And then it goes on to something kind of different, but interesting. The next message, sorry, I'm just grabbing my Moldavite crystal that I'll hold while I'm channel, just to allow some channel messages to come through at the same time. So there's clarity when, yeah, they started to talk about when we have a near death, if someone's ever had a near death experience. They said there's clarity when you have a near death experience where all fears disappear and you are in total surrender of what's to come. This is because the first thing to let go is the very thing trying to control everything, and that is your logical mind. And this is one of the things that get in the way because it is given too much leeway to create your reality. The reason why we say to live in the moment, and this is why my team's literally speaking to me now. The reason why my team tells me to live in the moment is because this is how you live in total surrender of what's to come, all the while knowing what feels good. So you can actually feel what feels good when you're out of your logical mind, trying to control everything, trying to dictate what the next move is so that you feel safe, because the logical mind only knows from the past, so it'll only grab things from the past and try to project them in the future. And every time it does that, it is looping you back into, this is the way I did it last time, and it's not actually letting go enough for you to feel. You need to feel. You need to sit to feel. You need to feel. You need to sit in your feelings for you to understand, oh, my vibration is squiff. And then if you feel that your vibration is a little bit squiff, you can readjust it. But you can't feel into that when you've got this screaming, like, self-doubt. Oh my God, we've got to do it this way. I've got to control everything. This is the only path because it worked last time, like last year or the year before. But remember, last year and the year before, it's totally different energies to what it is now. And this is why we've been asked to live really, really presently in the moment, because everything's shifting so quickly. So if we do loop back into our logical mind taking charge and saying, this worked for me in the past, then you end up missing the vibrational meat that you're trying to evolve into, and you are kept at a lower consciousness because of it. So yeah, I'm trying to give you really understand why it's so important, so that your logical mind can go, it's like we're speaking to that part of ourselves to say, see, do you see the reason why you need to let go? Because there's way more opportunity for us to evolve, and a logical mind doesn't retain any memory of this because there's nothing, it hasn't happened to us before. So to evolve means to step into something that we haven't actually done before, and we're moving into something new here. And to be present with that means we have to really listen to our feelings and our vibration and how we're consciously manifesting our reality as we go, moment by moment. So if something negative does come upon you, like it did with me, then we have to get to a point in ourselves where we stop that infringement of blockage that's keeping us from succeeding into an unknown quantity. It's stopping us. We have to get into it, feel into it. And literally, they're showing me, feel into this feeling of where it's coming from, accept it, and then you can shift it. So, in other words, taking my own advice, I'm trying to feel into, like, if I feel into where that's coming from, there is a slight fear of stepping into the unknown. Where is the moment taking me? Can I trust my feelings completely as I move one step as another towards more and more happiness? Uh, the happier you feel, is that mean that you're going to fall harder if it doesn't work out? Those sort of niggly thoughts have to be readjusted to just letting them go enough to live in the present moment to move forward. Yeah. And that's why they're calling this, you've got this. You've got this because you're the only one that can change this, and how it works out for you. And to be forever in that innocence of self. This is why little children can move through life simpler and expect, and they see more, because they literally live their life closer to the energy baseline of who we are, being that before they were born, they were just energy. And they still remember that understanding or awareness. The logical mind hasn't been programmed to overtake absolutely everything by trying to fit into a society that isn't here to well, the society is in an unbalanced state. So you're trying to fit into an unbalanced state by, you can't do that by being balanced. So you have to unbalance yourself to be able to fit into everything that's happening outside of you. Um, and so then you are caught in the matrix, you're caught in the societal problems because you're matching the vibration of the unbalancedness. But we are here to find balance within ourselves and then move through life, so that what will happen is you, through feeling again, being a feeling based being again, and trusting that, you can see things as an observer point, and navigate through what doesn't feel good for you before it actually manifests into your reality. So then you are sidestepping the things that aren't working within your mind, and then it literally manifests outside of you that you accidentally, or you kind of sidestep, um, where your actions are meeting your vibration, and you automatically go into, it's kind of like an automaticness. A good example would be, say for instance, I felt sick. Say I just felt a bit queasy or something like that. And then I would have to go into the vibration of the queasiness and go, why am I manifesting this within my reality? Feel into that, feel into it, to be able to expand your awareness to many choices. I choose then to feel good again, even if my physical body and my actual reality isn't showing up as that. I choose to feel good again. And then they're showing me, when you choose, you've now created new choices for yourself. And to say that and really constantly feel into it, excuse me, then your actions, your logical mind has to surrender, because your logical mind is only holding you in the frequency of not feeling good. And then when you are making a new choice, that logical mind will probably feel into the pain so much that it's like, I have to let go now because I just can't handle it. And so it surrenders through the pain. And then you have that choice, the choice that you've already decided to be of health or feel better about yourself, can literally manifest your next actions. So your next actions could be automatic from a feeling based of what's going to make me feel good, from the soul, from an intuitive advice. And so your arm might automatically reach for something that will help you, some sort of ingredient, something like ginger or something, just automatically reaches for it. You don't even think about it. You're not in your logical mindset anymore. So you're not trying to sift through memory bases anymore of what's happened for you or worked for you in the past. You're literally sitting in the energy of the moment and feeling into what will, outside of you, give you like that zest, like a ginger. When you take a spoonful of ginger, it's like, oh my God. And then it just whacks you out of feeling queasy. And it's like an automaticness. They're bringing me to, this was literally on House, the program House, where someone came in with a split brain, and they were actually sick, and one side of their brain was really in misery with the sickness and really feeling into it, and that was manifesting outside of them. The other side of the brain was knocking over something that he was eating, digesting. He just kept on knocking it over with his hand automatically, and he's like, because he had a split brain, they're like, oh, you're just you're just automatically doing crazy for no reason. There's no reason for you to knock something over, but it just kept on lashing out, knocking this thing over. That thing in this House program, in the program called House, that thing that he was knocking over was the actual thing that was making him sick. So it's like his intuitive mind wasn't speaking to his logical mind, but his intuitive mind was literally causing them. Say, for instance, you just jump in the car and you don't know why, but you're going to the chemist and you're going to buy a specific thing, or you're going and you're like, I don't even know why I know this, but I know that this is going to help me, and you're trusting your feelings again. So now we're learning to not only navigate through our life with our logical mind, which has some memory in it and might be able to help in specific moments, like to drive the car or whatever, but really be present with your feelings enough to feel into your intuitive mind as well. So they want us to be able to fine tune this. It's like a fine tunement for ourselves as we go along. Yeah, and I think that they really wanted to bring up that whole, that clarity that you have in a near-death experience. If you've ever seen videos of people who have near-death experience, they're like, I feel wondrous, I feel beautiful, I feel wow. But then I know these things, and it's still seeing through the eyes of their soul, and predicting things from there's still logic entwined into their soul's lineage. So each person's experience is uniquely valuable to themselves and how they pull themselves out of it. So their story might not work with your story, but it was valuable for themselves because they were in an energetic alignment to the story of how to get themselves out of trouble themselves. So it's interesting. We're all uniquely ourselves with these different paths that we've taken, but we're also one. Oneness is in soul, recognition of collectively coming together as source energy, going on trillions of different journeys so that you can pick up more and more vast wisdom that could help you in the moment that you're in the moment. Yeah, okay. We'll leave it at that. I'm not sure if I'm making total sense, but it's coming through, so we'll go with that. They also said your shadow self is hiding. I'm reading this, by the way, off my phone that I've written down from this week. Your shadow self is hiding or repressing your gifts. This is why it manifests as blocks and emotional outbreaks, because your mind is battling with the fact that you are that magnificent, trying to fit into a world of normalcy and mediocrity, but you are source energy. And unless you are a new soul just stepping into this world of living, you have gathered and mastered lifetimes of gifts that could be used in this lifetime. Yeah, so your shadow selves, like the things that you feel is wrong with you, are literally the reason why we go into shadow work, is because there's power behind the shadow of ourselves. And this is, if we start to realize that even the negative, so-called negative side of ourselves, it's literally covering up the power of who we really truly are, that magnificent. And that's why it's called shadow work, because it's like a shadow over the power of who we truly are, magnificence of who we are. I try to think of come up, or ask my team to come up with an example for that in this moment, as working through shadows. So if you're a person that does keep yourself small, to try to fit into the outside world, then the outside world will show your shadow as you're useless, you're not good. So people will come up to you and tell you that, or you shouldn't be doing that, giving you self-doubt, making you feel guilty. And then for you to switch it around and go, okay, now it's manifested outside of me, but it came from within me to begin with, for me to accept that in my reality. Because if you had healed it, you would not accept it. You wouldn't even take their advice. You just go, water off a duck's back. Doesn't even make any difference to me. I know who I am. I know where I'm going. I have absolute clarity. Then you know you've healed that shadow, because that shadow or that repression of you staying small will keep you small and keep you having you hooked into the same, that manifested outside of you. So to go into the shadow is to go into, why am I not allowing myself to feel magnificent, feel absolutely amazing, feel uniquely me, accept all parts of myself? And that's intuitive sides as well as logical sides, the masculine side as well as the feminine side, every single part of you. Uh, yeah. So anyway, just look into that. There's the reason these are coming up at the moment is because of these callings that we have that I was talking about last week, and they want us to really, really fine tune this, and they're kind of giving us little snippets of how to fine tune this even more so and more so. It's like we're getting to the very crux of the layers of peeling the onion right close to source energy. In other words, refining our love of self, refining how we are seen by how we see ourselves, and then it's reflected of how we're seen by the outside world, so that nothing can get us down, and to never give your power away to anything anymore, that you can change any of your reality at any given moment, no matter what it is. It's something that they really want us to come into understanding. Yeah. Hey, Arnie. Hey, Dedra. Hey, Celtic in the chat bar. Good to see you. Then they said there will come a time when people will realize that mainstream isn't the only way to live, that paying taxes to those holding the rule book doesn't have to happen to live a happy life. This will happen as people start to take responsibility for their own minds and their way of living. That everything has its advantages and disadvantages, and so judgment on the way of how another lives is only judgment on oneself for wanting to control another because they can't control themselves in their reality. This will birth many ways of living with nature and technology, or one or the other, exclusively, and give humanity an opportunity to be happy again. So that's huge, as in how we're actually learning to shift our reality. Choice is a big thing that's coming up constantly. Like open your mind to many, 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 many choices. If you have some sort of thought in your brain, that could be a choice. Don't limit yourself in your choices to try to fit into the outside world. Take the choice that's going to feel really good for you. I think that that's a really important statement to have, because anything can be manifested in this outside reality if it comes from the truth of who you are in a balanced way. It will always come from love of self. So just will. And so it will manifest outside of you in that love frequency. And then there was, through the channeling message that I did, which was, it cut out, and my internet cut out, and I had to start part 1 and part 2. I missed this whole big section on the calling, and I want to bring this up before I go into my channel messages, because it was important. So those that are being called at the moment have a mission to shift themselves into that calling. They'll literally feel this passion or desire to go somewhere, to do something, to create something. It's a really big calling that's happening with a lot of us at the moment. It's like literally stepping into light, being the light, being the light workers, being the more authentically you. And then with that comes a calling, because you were ignoring that calling before because you felt like it didn't fit into society. Anyway, then they started to say, what will happen to those who don't yet get this, don't yet get their calling? And they said, those that have had any false light, in other words, their ego has convinced them that they are on the right path, where really they have been living an illusion of their path. And they will have a huge tower moment, and probably more than one, to realign them onto a path that is in line with their soul again, just as you did. We all did that. We all went through that, right? As a path created through jealousy, conviction that they know best when they haven't gone through their own shadows, copying another, thinking that another person is the best path, or another person's path is their path, trying to impress another by becoming what they aren't fully in line with within their feeling base. All of this will come to a point where the light held by those that are in truth of themselves will shatter, any illusion on this planet, and with it the false prophets will fall, but only so that they can take the reins of their own true authentic self in the future. So just don't worry about it. In other words, if you coming across people that just aren't getting it, um, it's like let them go, because they will just you standing in your own self-empowerment and going towards the goals that you want and succeeding and grounding them into this reality is going to shatter their illusions anyway, automatically. So the truth is the truth. It will speak the truth in the end. You can't, you can't pretend in these higher frequencies anymore. It is a total alignment with source energy. It's just source energy is just truth anyway. It has to match your inner feelings, your inner knowing of who you are, has to match, will end up matching the grounded reality of who you become in the end. So in the end, you will become that soul's manifestation of all of those past lives and everything, and what you want to bring in, as well as the reality of what you've been through in an unbalanced state in a logical way as up till now. It will all be taken into account to create you in this uniqueness of who you are, and that uniqueness will start to love every aspect, and then with that you'll start to shine more. You'll just go, I know with clarity who I am and where I'm going. It will naturally happen. It's not something to force, because as soon as you start to force it, it will start to unravel again, and then you will have people coming up to you maybe saying, do you know who you are, who are you, and you're like, I have a self-doubt here because I'm maybe not in line with my true authentic self in this moment. Being very honest and vulnerable with yourself is a must as you move forward into these higher frequencies. It's absolute clarity, and this is going to ignite telepathy, because telepathy, the universal language, comes from absolute truth of oneself, where what we speak or what we think is in alignment with us, with the vibration that we're actually living in the present moment. That can be felt by another who is also in alignment with their presentness in the moment too. And so telepathy is an automatic thing of being unified. Like, I literally starting to have more of these things happening to me. I was sitting in the bathroom and I was going, I need to have another intuitive reading, which by the way are offline at the moment because my Microsoft account is down. So there's something I have to shift there. Any case, uh, and this was just a few days ago before all this happened. I was like, I need to have another reading so I can get some money coming in. And then I walked into the lounge, sat there for about 20 minutes, and straight away in my head, telepathy, like a telepathic communication, I saw visually the Wix sign of my internet, and I knew that I got a reading. My phone was in the caravan. I walked outside, got my phone. Here it was, this reading. And these sort of things will happen more and more and more as we go along, when we sit in the clarity of the present moment of who we truly are and accepting our magnificence. So we can only move into our more and more and more magnificence, because it will feel really awkward when we're not. When we feel like the outside world has more power over us, we will feel awkward. We'll feel, ugh. It will start to give you anxiety. I would try to distract, like I've actually distracted myself through what's happening to try to find myself in a higher frequency. And then when I come back into alignment with my mind, I'm trying to sit in that frequency. It's wavering back and forth for me at the moment. This is why it hasn't been fixed. But it will be fixed once I get that sorted. But it's good, because if I don't go through things like that, I can't tell you guys in real time how I'm fixing them and how it starts to evolve, how I'm starting to evolve from the inside out. Yeah, fabulous. Everything you've been getting is spot on, which is fabulous, because have felt blocked. Yeah. So the blockage is literally showing you a path. It's showing you a part of yourself that you're not sitting in your magnificence. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, let's see if any other channel messages will come through at the moment. I'll go into this. So yeah, they really want us to feel into that you've got this, you've got this. Because when you feel into that, when you say that to yourself, I've got this, then it sort of unblocks any blockages within your heart chakras and aligns yourself to that everything's going to work out for you. Yeah, they're saying that when this starts to happen, you'll have more clarity and messages coming from your team. In other words, those that you knew before you were born, whether it be, yeah, like literal other beings that have been your guides, will become a part of the messages that are coming through as well. Yeah, it will all come together. It's just one big family. And your unique true value of yourself will literally magnetize also the soulmates coming towards you as well, tribal members, that sort of thing. That they're saying, be open though to anything in that in your higher vibration. Be open to anything coming through, not just those that have been in your past, because there could be new people coming through that have also done the work, that are now in alignment with you, and it's expanding, like this bubble is expanding into more and more. If you just stay with the ones that you know, as in the soul tribe members, people that you were on another planet with, another frequency with before you were born, your family that you were in up till now, if you've done life after life after life as a human, if your soul's done that. There's especially, they're saying, those that were perceived as the witches and wizards, or the ones that held on to the magic and the codes that actually gave birth to a lot of light workers or people from other planets. Especially those need to open up to just trusting the frequency of alignment, and everything's going to work out, and that they've got this, and that it's all going to be fine. Allowing how they magnetize to other people that have already got this as well, so expands their circle. They're asking us to expand our circle to more and more and more, because the more that you expand your circle to, the more closer you're getting to source energy, because what source energy is oneness. And so that oneness gives you that chance of being able to tap into other people's energy fields and lifetimes that they've been as well, because it's like source energy is one ball of light fragmented into trillions and trillions, or godzillions. They're calling it godzillions. I have used that word. They have channeled that word once before. Godzillions of lifetimes. And so then you have, when you expand your awareness into allowing others, even those that haven't been in past lives but still in the same frequency of you, you have expanding yourself closer and closer to the oneness, which is source energy, and gifting you wisdom beyond your wildest dreams, they're saying. And then you will go, oh my God, now I'm in expansion. Now I am the observer of expansion of all light codes of everything. It starts to just become an awareness of any choice that you make, any path you want to take from here on is a new path, maybe, but it is a path that you're in alignment with for the benefit of your evolutional soul. In other words, you can go into many different dimensions if you allow yourself into more and more expansion. If you're quite happy as a soul to just stay in a bubble of just moving into the next dimension up for your evolution of your soul, so long as it's in balance, you've done enough, and that's okay too. We don't want like source energy is literally tapping into me, or Cyanians come through with this. We don't want everybody to go into just source energy and then stay there, because then we haven't then we wouldn't it would never happen anyway, because then the adventure would stop in this practical playing field that we are expanding as well. So um, if your decision of your soul is to stay just in a limited concept of the fifth dimension, six, just a smaller dimensional space, and not be so expansive, if that's what you can handle at the moment, then that is an absolute truth of what's needed to happen and where your soul was driving you to right from the beginning. It's the most important thing here is to be in balance and come from love of self. The more that you love yourself, the more you're going to see love outside of yourself. And the more that you see love outside of yourself, the more that nature sees you in that love frequency. And that means earth, every single thing outside of you is working towards harmony for you to stay in that harmony as well. Yeah, so it's quite out there information that's coming through at the moment, but necessary for those that have a calling, because a lot that are listening to this, especially, are people that have come into this reality with specific callings that they want to awaken, and the persecutors, uh, where are they going? The persecutor problem that they have had will once it's shattered, literally imagine it's kind of like what it's like is if you were completely poor all of your life. You were gutted, you were like poor, you had to really strive and work for everything and all of that sort of stuff, and then someone hands you, like $20 million, and you find $20 million, you just trip up over a heck of a lot of money. You would sit on that 20 million for maybe a year or so to try to get used to that frequency, or you would just lose it straight away again. So this is why they're saying fine tuning at the moment, because we don't want to go back to losing it, right? And I don't believe that you could once you reach a certain threshold, because there's too many of us awakening now on Earth. But you still need to get used to it. So every step that you take could cause a little bit of opening of another blockage, and then you step through that one again, and it might be a repeat of something in the past that hasn't completed. In other words, one of my blockages is that my logical brain is fixated on the fact that something outside of me in a practical playing field can still control me, as in the computer and the Microsoft and all that sort of stuff. But it's not. Everything will work for you when you're sitting in the vibration of that frequency. Everything will. It's not as easy as you think. It's like you're thinking, right? But the more that we speak about these things, the easier it starts to become, because we're literally talking to our logical mind to shake it up, to let go enough for us to feel again and move into vibrational settings, which is going to reflect outside of us as that vibration coming towards us. Okay. Yeah, guilt is a hard one, isn't it, Arnie? I'm away from home helping with my grands, and I felt it's time for me to leave. Feel guilty about wanting to not do this anymore. Yeah, guilt is a hook, but the guilt can be eradicated when you realize that what you're stepping into is helping them, even more so, as in you becoming the enlightened self that's suited to your happiness. It gives them a path, on how to follow, because they're in relation to you, DNA wise and everything, literally clears their path. And it's like I was talking to my sister yesterday and saying how fantastic it has been with my family and how different it is that I have so much more support here. And she's like, it's like a clearing for all of you. And this is how it happens because I've done a lot of shadow work. I'm bringing that energy into my vortex now. Okay, we're in physical contact, but I'm not staying here. I'm moving to New York in a month. And then I'm probably going back to Australia. I actually don't know where I'm going to land. Totally 100% yet. But even so, the guilt can be eradicated when you're realizing you stepping in your power is actually helping them. It's from an energetic vibration that's giving them an opportunity to see their own clarity of shifting their own inner work and doing their inner work as well. Because if we all sat in misery with each other, we're not going to help anyone. Like we're just sitting in the misery of each other. It's not going to help anyone. So you just stay there, stuck with everybody else and going, well, misery likes misery. Yeah, and nothing shifts. But hey, we feel comfortable in this misery because that's all we know. Literally what humanity has been doing up till now is been feeling comfortable in their misery. And so their logical brain will keep bringing them up into that because it's a comfort zone of something you know and you've already done it before. But you hate it when it happens because it gives you anxiety. But still, it's a comfort zone and knowing where it turns you and what it turns you into, the anxiety, right? So we have to get to a point when we make new choices and move into different, higher, beautiful vibrations that feel good for us, really, truly feel good for us. So that could be an unknown quantity of stepping out of your comfort zone into something that your logical brain goes, I don't know where the freaking going now. Where am I going to end up? But I'm trusting this feeling in this moment because I have to let go enough and surrender for me to feel it. You have to, that brain, that part of you has to let go enough for you to actually even feel into what's going to make you really, truly happy from the inside out, not from the outside. Because otherwise you direct yourself to an outside thing that you say will make you happy. Okay, I'll go and eat that cake. I'll go and do this. And then you go and eat that cake and you feel miserable again because you feel guilty because you ate the cake and that sort of thing. It's just, there's something to do with really sitting in a vibration of making a new choice of what you decide you want to feel into now. So I choose to feel happy, even though my outside world is not. I choose to stay in that higher vibration. Yeah, something to do with that as well coming up. So, let's see what else is coming through. I have a New York meetup exactly at 11 o'clock, which is in 15 minutes straight after this. So I'm aware of that as well. So if I'm looking at my time, sorry, that's what's happening. See, it's funny, whenever I channel, whatever I'm thinking, even if my logical brain's coming in, I'll just spit it out. This happens, interesting, this happens because it's literal, if you were telepathic, you would have felt that anyway. If I was telepathic with you, the clarity of being in telepathy in the vibration of the universal language, you would have felt me doing that anyway. So I might as well just speak it. That's what I'm thinking. Okay. It's absolute truth and honesty, and no matter what you are thinking. Just want to see if there's any other messages that will come through at this moment to give us a bit more clarity. They keep on bringing, whenever I'm tapping into that channeling, you've got this, keeps coming up, you've got this, you guys have got this, it's already happened, it's already played out. There is no, it's not necessary to become worrisome if you feel like you're going into your mind again, or you're losing the frequency that you were in the moment before. There's no point in worrying about it. It's literally there for a lesson, and you've already done this time and time again in the past, and you cleared, you cleared, you cleared, you eventually cleared. It just depends on how long are you going to stay in that. And then you'll get quicker to get out of it. And then you're stepping into real time where no matter what happens, you can shift it very quickly. Oh gosh. Okay. Yeah. So you can do this and do this by, I literally hold my heart and I go, for the benefit of everyone, let this be over, and show me the path of letting it be over. Take me to the path of letting this be over. And then really trusting this game to be over, and then see what you automatically do next. Because the mind is a trickery of thinking it knows the best thing to do, because it's like, I need to do something, I need to do something. And so, and literally sometimes it is like, no, you need to shush so that I can just feel in the vibration of it all being cleared. You need to shush, and I need to just sit in this, and there's nothing else to do other than that. So sit in that. Otherwise, you could end up muddling things. You get caught into it even more, because what you're doing is you're digging into the issue or the energy of the issue again and again and again. Yeah. Yeah, this Celtic, this isn't a open Zoom call. This is a closed one. We're just discussing things of how we're going to press forward with the New York team. Yeah, we're just talking about advertising and stuff like that. So it's not an open Zoom call. See if there's anything else that needs to come through. I think, I feel. Okay, they're saying that more profound messages are going to follow. Sometimes what happens is they'll give a really profound message, like last week with the missions and the calling, and then they want to just settle us in rebalancing ourselves again. So they bring up the mind and how to work with the energies in the mind again. And then they will bring through another big message. It seems to be a pattern of how they're doing it with me. And then they will come back into learning to rebalance. And so it'll keep going like that. So even though we're repeating some things, or it could feel like we're repeating things on how to do that logical mind, it's like they're saying it's necessary, because we have to literally talk the logical mind off the cliff of trying to push for our reality to be created by our logical thinking, and let it surrender. And so it's a constant, kind of like a constant battle at the moment, until we really do sit in that vibration of absolute. And that means everything that you do, everything that you speak is just clarity. You become the elder that you've been seeking. You become the truth seeker that you've been seeking. You become that you wanted to always rise up into. You become that. So that is coming for those that are doing this work. It is an absolute that it is coming, because we will be a living Gandhi. We will be a living, person who is, as we see as the masters of the past. There's like an up leveling of millions of many masters coming in onto this playing field at once, and that's why we need to do it in adjustments. It's because we're all adjusting together as well, and nothing is going wrong, even though the logical mind's holding on to it as wrong. This is what we need to let go. Like they're showing me that fist, the logical mind going, it's going wrong, and then it's like, no, release that, just lighten it, just feel relaxed about it, and no, it's not going wrong. It is part of the journey. This is all going right. Now feel into what's going to make you feel good again. That gives you a chance to do that. Okay, guys, I will leave it here, and I will be live again on Thursday. I'm pretty sure that's all going to happen. So, yeah, look out for that next, and we'll bring out the tarot with the messages as well. And do a free chat bar. I think I forgot the free chat bar messages last week. How funny is that? I only just realized it now. But meant to be, meant to be. I go with the flow. So maybe this time there'll be room for free chat bar readings as well on Thursday. Love you guys heaps. Until next time. Bye.